Players grind for an hour, close the game, and it's all gone. Let's build a Godot save system that actually survives a restart. Save and load, real JSON. No half-baked tutorials. Quick, honest heads up before we open the editor. This save and load code, plus 50 other copy-paste snippets for Godot and Unity, lives in my gamedev starter kit. $19, completely optional, and the link is below. That's the whole pitch. Now, let's build a save system in Godot. Let's start with why saving is trickier than it looks, because two things trip up almost everyone. First, the code you find in old tutorials is dead. In Godot 3 you open files with a class called file. In Godot 4, file is gone, removed entirely. If you copy a Godot 3 save snippet, it simply won't run. Second, and this is the big one, where do you write the file? Beginners reach for the project folder, the residential path. It works in the editor, so it looks fine. Then you export the game, hand it to a player, and every save silently fails. The res path is read-only in an exported game. You cannot write to it. So a real Godot save system has to get two things right. Use the current Godot 4 file API. And write to a location that's actually writable on a player's machine. Get those two right and the rest is easy. Here's the shape of what we're building. A save function that turns your game state into text and writes it to disk. A load function that reads it back and hands you your data. Both tiny. Let's design the data first. Everything starts with one plain dictionary. This is your entire save state, one object holding every value you care about. Look at the fields. Level, 3. Coins, 120. A player name. And a position, stored as its own little X and Y pair. That's it. When the game saves, it fills this dictionary. When it loads, it reads from it. One structure, the whole save. Now the important rule, and it's the number one gotcha for beginners. JSON can only store basic types. Numbers, strings, booleans, arrays, and dictionaries. That's the whole list. It cannot store a Godot vector 2, a node, or a color directly. So a player position, which is naturally a vector 2, has to be broken into plain numbers, x and y, before it goes in. This catches everyone the first time. If your save file comes back wrong, 90% of the time it's an engine type that should have been split into basic values. Need an inventory? That's just an array of item names inside the same dictionary. Arrays and nested dictionaries are both fair game, as long as every value inside them is a basic type. Keep the dictionary boring and you'll never fight it. Now let's actually save it. This is the heart of the whole system, and it is genuinely 5 lines. Up top, a constant for the save path. We write to the user path, user://save.json. Hold that thought, because where that lives is the key correctness point, and we've got a whole section on it in a minute. Inside the save function, 3 moves. Open the file with FileAccess, that's the Godot 4 class that replaced file, in write mode. Then the magic line. JSON stringify turns your entire dictionary into one clean text string. Store that string in the file. Close it, and you're done. Follow the data on screen. Your game state is a dictionary. JSON stringify converts it to a string of text. That text gets written into a file at the user path. Dictionary, to JSON, to file on disk. That's the entire save pipeline, 3 arrows. Where does that dictionary come from? A tiny helper, collect save data, that reads your live game and packs the values in. Player level, coin count, position split into X and Y. One function builds the dictionary, save game writes it. Keep them separate and you can save from anywhere just by calling save game with fresh data. One nice detail. Because it's plain JSON text, you can open that save file in any text editor and read it. Great for debugging, and it means your saves aren't some opaque binary blob. Loading is just that pipeline run backwards, with one guard you must not skip. Read the file, parse the text, get your dictionary back. First line of the load function, check the file exists. FileAccess file exists, with the same path. If there's no save yet, a brand new player, you return an empty dictionary and let the game start fresh. Skip this check and a first-time player crashes on a file that isn't there. If it does exist, open it with FileAccess in read mode, and pull the whole thing in with get as text. That gives you back the exact JSON string you saved earlier. Then JSON parse string turns the text back into a dictionary. And here's the second guard. Parse string returns null if the file is empty or corrupted. So check for null before you use the result. If it's null, fall back to an empty dictionary. Two guards, file exists, and not null, and your loader never crashes on a bad or missing save. But getting the dictionary back is only half the job, you have to apply it. Read each value and push it into your game. Set the player's level, restore the coin count, and rebuild that position into a vector 2 so the player reappears exactly where they left off. A save you can't apply is just a text file sitting on disk. This is the step beginners forget. That's the full loop. Save writes dictionary to JSON to disk. Load reads disk to JSON back to dictionary, and you apply it. Everything else is just deciding what goes in the dictionary. Now the part that makes or breaks a save system, where the file actually lives. This is the single most important idea in the video. The user path is not a folder in your project. It maps to a real, per-platform user data directory, a place the operating system guarantees your game can write to. On Windows it's under App Data. On Mac OS it's in Application Support. On Linux it's under the local share folder. You never hard-code any of that. You just write to the user path and Godot resolves it for you. Want to see the real folder on your machine? Print the result of OS get user data dar Godot prints the exact absolute path it's using. Handy when a player says their save vanished and you need to find the file. Compare that to the residential path, your project folder. In the editor, residential looks writable, so people ship it. But when Godot exports your game, the project gets packed into a read-only archive. Writing to residential fails and the save disappears. The rule is simple. Read your game's built-in assets from res. Write every save, every setting, every screenshot, to the user path. Always. Let's nail the gotchas that turn a working demo into a shipped feature. 3 quick ones. First, that vector 2 again, because it bites twice. Going out, you split the position into X and Y before saving. Coming back in, you have to rebuild it, read X and Y from the dictionary and construct a fresh vector 2 to drop the player back exactly where they were. Split on the way out, rebuild on the way in. Second, settings don't have to be JSON. For volume, resolution, key bindings, Godot ships a class called config file that reads and writes a clean, ini-style file. Set a value under a section, call save to the user path, and you get a tidy settings file for free. Use JSON for game progress, config file for options. Third, when do you actually call save? 2 good moments. At a save point, like the player touching a checkpoint or a bonfire. And on quit, so nobody loses progress by closing the window. You can hook the window close notification, or a node's tree exiting signal, and fire your save function right there. Save on purpose, and save on exit. And that's a complete, correct Godot 4 save system. A plain dictionary for your state, JSON stringify and FileAccess to write it, parse string and a couple of guards to read it back, all living safely in the user path, not res. Copy those 2 functions into any project and your players keep their progress. Here's your next move. Don't stop while it's fresh. If you want the state that fills that dictionary to stay clean as your game grows, watch the Godot state machine build next. And if you're cross-engine curious, the Unity Save System video does this exact thing the Unity way. Both are linked. The GameDev Starter Kit has this save code plus 50 more copy-paste snippets. Subscribe for more Godot builds, and go make sure nobody ever loses their progress again. See you in the next one.